Rukuh and Sujood, physical bowing or something better. Rukuh defined, Ra, Kaf, An, bowed, bent, incline, humility, humble yourself, lower the head, fell upon his face, stumbled. Rukuh has been used to physically bow and to be humble or submissive, and in the Quranic sense, this latter meaning is to the laws of Allah. We can see this by reading in context a verse with its use and what was asked of them.
One example is that of the Israelites, O children of Israel. Remember my blessings that I bestowed upon you, when you were following my commandments. Fulfill your promise to me and I will fulfill my promise to you. And fear none but me, fear the consequences violating divine commands, and grace yourselves with belief in what I have revealed, now confirming the truth in what you already have. Be not the first among those who will conceal the truth therein, and trade not my revelations for petty gains. Rather, be mindful of me, confirming the truth. In petty gains, the false dogma of being the chosen ones, which is consistently rejected by the Qur'an, the only criterion of honor in the sight of God is character. Do not confound the truth with falsehood, nor conceal the truth while you are well aware of it. Strive to establish the system of Salat, and to set up the just economic order in the society, and bow with others who bow to these commands. System of Salat, the system in which following the divine commands is facilitated in the society. Do you exhort people to make room for everyone's welfare and progress in the society, while you disregard practicing what you preach? And all the while you study the scripture. Will you not, then, use your sense? Using sense will tell that failing to practice what one preaches is but lying to oneself. Making room for everyone's welfare and progress in the society, exponential growth of the self.
By following the commands, you are accepting, bowing down to them. Sujood defined, seeing Jeen Dal, lowly, humble, submissive, worship, adore, prostrate, make obeisance, lower, bend oneself down towards the ground, lower the head, to salute, honor, magnify, to pay respect, to stand up, to look continually and tranquilly. Sujood is also about bowing down and prostrating oneself on the ground, but when we cross-reference its full Quranic usage, it carries more weight for obedience and acceptance to the will of Allah. Yusuf Ali has this:
Whatever beings there are in the heavens and the earth do prostrate themselves to Allah, acknowledging subjection, willingly or unwillingly, so do their shadows in the morning and evenings.
The word yasjudu has been translated as prostrating, and this then throws up the question as to exactly how they are prostrating, which even Wahali has to accept by putting acknowledging subjection. The shadows move according to the movement of the sun. They are doing so only in accordance with the laws of optics, which has light travelling in a straight line and not being able to travel through opaque materials, and hence shadows are formed. The shadow has no say in what it does or where it goes, but is produced by and moves based upon the movement of the sun. Move your hand and its shadow moves, obedient through and through. The Quran gives us another verse to further enlighten us as to the true meaning of the word. Why, Ali?
Do they seek for other than the religion, deen, of Allah, while all creatures, things, in the heavens and on earth have, willing or unwilling, bowed to His will, accepted Islam, and to Him shall they all be brought back.
Bowing or full submission in the program.
What do they seek other than the prescribed way, deen of God, when to Him submit all beings in the heavens and earth, either by free will or by their innate nature and programming? and to him they will be returned, and to him they go back as their originating source. All surrender to God, either by free will as the believers do, or through their innate nature such as animals, trees, stars, seasons, etc. Even the deniers of the truth live by divine laws in their physical lives. Declare, we believe in God and what has been revealed to us, and what was revealed to Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob and their descendant prophets, and what was given from their Lord to Moses, Jesus and the other prophets. We make no distinction among any of them. And we submit to him alone. All prophets were one in purpose. Whoever seeks as a way of life other than Islam, submission to God, it will never be accepted from him, and in the life hereafter, he will be among those who have completely lost their investments. This is because the deen, religion, of the entire universe is submission.
Quranic submission. What type of submission does Allah ask of us?
Did we not expand your chest, endowed you with magnanimity, resilience, and courage to accomplish the mission, and eased you of the burden, made the journey through life easy by bestowing the perceptual and intellectual faculties that weighed down your back, and we exalted your renown, O Prophet, and through the revelation to him, gave eminence to mankind. With hardship comes ease. Indeed, with hardship comes ease. So, whenever you are free from the immediate task, embark upon the next strife, and turn all your attention to your Lord. Remain focused on the mission entrusted upon you.
We please Allah, we worship him by doing what he has instructed us to do, namely follow the teachings of the Quran. Our prostration should be this, and we don't need to express this in a ritualized act. Any benefits that people have come up with for the ritual namaz are not expressed by Allah in the Quran, neither are the form of this practice. So the evidence or lack of it in the Quran clearly shows that this is not a requirement for us to do. We become, in a human sense, God's shadow on earth by being obedient to his teachings.
Have they not observed the things that God has created? Their shadows incline to the right and to the left, that is their utter submission to God. In all humility, even the shadows can show you that the entire cosmos, with its celestial bodies, is submitting to his laws. Indeed, before God, bows in submission all that is in the heavens and all that is on earth, whether living beings or the angels, for none are arrogant. All that is includes three classes of God's creation: inanimate things, living beings, and angels. Angels, here, represent God's forces in nature. They all fear their Lord, high above them, and they do all that they are commanded.
This clearly states that following what Allah has commanded is the submission and prostration referred to above.
Likewise, he is the one who designed well the sky when it was smoke, nebulae of gas, and he said to it and the earth, "Come both of you willingly or unwillingly." They said, "We do come," obedient, thumb, afterward, then, so, likewise, similarly, in the like manner, the cosmic bodies coming into their orbits willingly or unwillingly indicates their being inherently subservient to divine laws, unlike humans who have been granted free will. And he is the one who ordained that they become 7 heavens in 2 eras and assigned to each heaven its function. And we decorated the sky of the world with shining lamps and made them secure that they do not clash in their orbits. That is the design of the Almighty, the knower.
Duty and command.
And he is the one who ordained that they become 7 heavens in 2 eras and assigned to each heaven its function.
Function means duty and command, and it is the instructions or laws of Allah that guide them. As everything has its laws and are following them accordingly, then where are our duty and commands, our instructions? They are what are contained in the Quran, and that is my whole point. We are subservient to all the laws of nature. Fire burns, no air equals breathing stops and death, etc. But we are free-willed and our guidance is not fixed like the moon's, but ours must be understood and followed willingly. We must submit our wills to the guidance of Allah to create a heaven on earth and safeguard our futures. We must do this not by bending physically down to Allah, but mentally believing and following His way of life. True submission is putting the words of the Quran into practice by having true faith in them, which is only acquired by careful study and pondering over their meaning. Ritual prayer bowing is a pale shadow in comparison. The Quranic meaning of the word sujood, bowing.
As an example, when people commit an indecency they say, "We found our forefathers doing it and God has enjoined it upon us, made it natural for us." Say, "O Messenger, God never enjoins indecency. Do you attribute to God that of which you have no knowledge?" Say, "O Messenger, my Lord enjoins justice and to stand devoted to Him alone in complete submission at all time and place. Call unto Him, sincere in your faith in Him alone, as He brought you into being in the first place, so shall you return to Him." Some He has guided, others have deserved straying. They take satanic people as allies instead of God, and think that they are rightly guided. The straying ones take their religious leadership as their masters instead of God.
The above verses speak about those who commit wrong acts, and the Quran says to stand devoted to Him alone in complete submission. How can you stand in prostration? It can only mean that to avoid wrong acts we must put into practice the guidance of Allah, the Quran, which is exactly the wisdom of verse 730. Become and stay rightly guided and not wrongly prostrated. The marks of their prostration.
Muhammad is God's messenger, and those who are with him are stern towards the deniers, and compassionate among themselves. You can see them bowing, adoring him, as they seek God's bounty and acceptance. Their signs of belief are on their faces, the effects of adoration. Such is their likeness in the Torah and their likeness in the Gospel. They are like a seed that brings forth its shoot, and then He strengthens it, so that it grows stout, and then stands firm on its stem, delighting those who have sown it. As a result it enrages the deniers at them. And God promises forgiveness and an immense reward to those who attain belief and do acts of beneficence. Sujood is frequently mistranslated as the physical mark on the forehead resulting from regular prostration. But wajh, countenance, whole being, face, and not forehead. In addition, the verses of the Bible that the Quran is referring to make no mention of any physical marks on the foreheads or faces. Sujood, adoration, prostrations, complete submission, signs on their faces, reflection of faith in the believer's mannerism.
The denier's demeanor and the true followers.
The criminals will be recognized from their personality and conduct. The violators of human rights will be clearly identified. Family seized and held accountable. Mujrim, guilty, one who steals the fruit of others' labor, violator of human rights. Then, O men and women, which authority of your Lord will you deny? This is hell that the guilty deny. They wander between it and their smoldering anguish. Then, O men and women, which authority of your Lord will you deny? And for him who stands in fear of his Lord's presence, are two guarders, one here one there. Then, O men and women, which authority of your Lord will you deny? Abounding in two facets, art and science, Afnan, creative works, art and science. Then, O men and women, which authority of your Lord will you deny? As well as apprehending criminals through investigation, their demeanor will give them away. Following the right path brings about a calmness and confidence which translates into our conduct and appearance, and this comes about through the study and utilization of the best this universe has to offer instead of ritualized mantras.
The Quran Unchained.